Hello and welcome to another standard daily event. This time I will not be playing blue-white flash, but I have a completely different deck. I was going to play the blue-white red deck that Jerry Thompson used at top 8 the 50k, but I was playing with it and I didn't really like it much, so I'm going to play this deck that I've been testing for a little bit now. And it's a Bant deck, as you can tell, but it's very different than most of the other Bant control decks that are going around. It's really focused on just getting life. My friend posted a list that 3-1 day daily a couple weeks ago that was roughly this deck. I made some changes to it, but it's basically this. I had Six Revelation, Thrive Tusk, Faith Menders, Restoration Angels, Tristanis, Centaur Healers, Chalice of Life, which is actually amazing in this deck. Just some decks can't deal with it. You just get ahead and you just kill them really quickly. Some of the other cards in the deck, there is Tristani, which is kind of odd, but it's very good. Thrive Test gain 8 life, and then once the Thrive Test dies, you can start making tokens. Some changes that I made to the deck from the list I saw. It was playing Grow Over the Guardian, but I took those out. Which is kind of like a pipe dream, can never happen. So I added a Cavern of Souls, an Alchemist Refuge, and a Township. I really like Township, it just helps you get ahead. I also put in Angel of Serenities and Drugstore Reaver. I haven't tried the Reaver yet, but it looks good, especially when you have a Chalice of Life and you're not at 30 life yet. And it helps you get in card advantage. So that's the main deck. In the sideboard, I have 3 Supreme Verdicts. It was playing Supreme Verdicts in the main deck, which I don't like because you just have so many creatures. It's playing 21. And so a lot of times you'll be a little bit behind, but you don't want Wrath, but you need to deal with stuff. So I don't have those in the main deck. I just put Angels in. And there's also Detention Spheres. And there's also one O-Ring instead of a third Detention Sphere, because a lot of the decks just play Detention Spheres. They're removal and no O-Rings. And it's good to have an O-Ring to get rid of the Detention Sphere. So it's a very major drawback that it can't hit itself. So that's why also in the sideboard I have one more O-Ring and one Detention Sphere. There's also 4 counter spells, 2 dispels, and 2 negates. I was playing Dissipate, but it's really hard to cast. This is basically just a green-white deck with some blue cards. So I find it better to just have the 1 blue, especially if I'm going for a Sphinx's Revelation and I want to have a counter spell up. Having 4 blue open is kind of a lot to ask for. There's one Elixir also. I'm thinking about moving that to the main deck, but I don't know what to cut. And I don't really need it that much on the control mirrors, so I think it's fine just to have it in the sideboard. There's a 4th Faith Mender for creature decks, and there's Resting Pieces for obviously the graveyard decks. I was trying to play Purify the Grave. That didn't work out too well. You just really need to get the whole graveyard. You can't just try to get 1 or 2 cards. So that's my deck, and we'll see how it goes.